Good afternoon, everybody. Been a while since I made one of these, but right at the beginning of the second semester, I've already gotten a couple questions about this assignment, so I figured it'd just be easier to explain it up front to everyone else while offering a bit of an example and further explanation to those who have already asked. So this is from Unit 1 of second semester, Mass Media. This is Assignment 3, your project of Mass Media and Soap. In this project, what you're being asked to do is to analyze 3 specific pieces of media and identify within those 3 the ideas of soap: subject, occasion, audience, and purpose for each example. It lists out 3 categories of things you need to look at: a visual piece of media, an auditory piece of media, and a textual piece of media. So for visual piece of media, they give examples such as a poster or a billboard, something that relies entirely on the visual aspect. There may be text involved, but it's primarily a picture, an image that you are looking at. For auditory, something that is recorded speech, maybe on the radio, where it's again heavily on the audio side of things. And then textual is print-based media, newspaper ad, or something that you would read online as an advertisement. But not necessarily advertisement, doesn't have to just be an ad, could be, as they say, an editorial, an article, because soap as persuasion can be in anything, not just in advertisement, although advertisement is persuasion of a sort. So I have an example that kind of fits a couple of them, at least the visual and audio, though I would put it more towards a visual thing as it is a video. I don't know if I necessarily go there in terms of letting that be the thing for visual. You may want to try to find just an image, but this is the quickest example I could come up with. So here is what you need to do for each of your 3 examples. So I've written this up here in Word because that way I can show you the formatting and it's easier to do. Obviously you can't do any of this formatting within Odysseyware because that text box doesn't let you do that. But you should at least follow the same basic idea. So I have a visual ad or a visual message, and I gave the title of it the Allstate Mayhem Commercial Teen Driver. There's a whole bunch of these that Allstate released. This is one specific one. So my subject, occasion, audience, purpose. My subject, auto insurance. That's what the message is about. It's about auto insurance, specifically selling it. So the occasion of the message. Why is this message being shown at this point, or why would someone want it or need it? And that is that someone might be shopping for a new insurance rate, or it's a new driver who needs to get insurance and get coverage. So my audience then is drivers, though with this message I'll say it's specifically parents with teens who are driving, or people who have experienced a similar situation to what is presented in the clip. Now, I'm not going into details of what is there because I don't need to summarize the whole thing, but just say that there's something presented and the audience is someone who has experienced something close to what they present. So then I'm going to go to my P, and I'll come back to that evidence in a minute. The purpose: to get people to purchase auto insurance from Allstate. It's an advertisement. All advertisements, especially for products, the purpose is to purchase this product, and I have evidence for that. So let's go back. According to the assignment, you have to provide at least 2 pieces of evidence from each message about why you picked the things you did. Now, that cannot necessarily mean you have to have 2 pieces of evidence for every S, every O, every A, every P. That'd be way too much. But within one message, I need at least 2 pieces of evidence for these things. Subject for this one is fairly self-evident. Same thing with the occasion for it. So I wanted to talk about the audience and the purpose. So here's my evidence for audience. The situation is a specific hypothetical. So they outline a very specific circumstance that might happen. And so it suggests that is meant to speak to people who would be likely to experience this situation. Otherwise, who would care? Now, any person who drives could have an accident at any time, but it's very probable, that's supposed to be probable, it's very probable that new teen drivers will have more accidents than most experienced drivers, either being in them or causing them. That is just kind of a statistical likelihood. And so more likely, that suggestion there is my evidence for why the audience is those who have teens in their household or who might experience teen drivers as a recipient of an accident. At least that's the evidence I see in that message. And then for purpose, to get people to buy the insurance. Now, again, all advertisement is persuasion to try to get you to buy, but I wanted to give something specific. The tagline of the message of the commercial is, "So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem like me," directly suggesting that Allstate is a product that's better able to protect its customers from the hypothetical situation presented in the ad, better than other cut-rate insurance companies. I have cut rate in quotes because that's a phrase they use in their messaging. They refer to other companies as cut rate, meaning cheap, meaning not quality. So right there, they're denigrating other companies, saying they're not that great, we're better, and we can protect you from this random thing that might happen to you in real life, whereas your cheapo car insurance won't. So we are better, come buy our product. And that's the purpose of this message. So all of this is one message. Now what I would do if I'm typing in Google Docs is I would just come back here and I'm going to copy all this, and I'm going to come over to Odysseyware and I'm going to paste, because I like working in Google Docs or Word, and I'm going to fix some of this weirdness. I'm going to just make sure everything's aligned. I'm going to get rid of extra spaces, so that there's nothing there, and hopefully it all comes out well. So there's that one. Visual, Allstate Mayhem, Teen Driver, SOAP, with my 2 pieces of evidence, and then I would go to my auditory and do the same thing for an auditory ad or auditory message. And that could just be a speech. So if you wanted to look at Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech, or any presidential inaugural address, those are auditory messages, and those absolutely would have the idea of soap. There's a subject involved, there is an occasion, there is an audience, and there is a purpose. Be careful, though, that you don't get something too broad, because then it's kind of hard to nail down what it is when they're talking to hundreds of thousands of people at once. You usually want to make sure your audience that you're looking at is kind of narrowly defined for something like this, because it makes it easier to write about and provide evidence. Remember that you have to provide at least 2 pieces of evidence per message or piece of media, and you have to do 3 pieces of media, 1 each from the 3 categories listed on Odysseyware. If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out and message me through Odysseyware, and I will check them when I next have a chance. Good luck with everything. I hope you have a great day.